Welcome back to Inside South Florida. Trying to achieve that work-life balance? Well, stop. Here is local author, entrepreneur, and life coach Luly B on why balance is BS. Luly, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. It is awesome to be here.
All right, we've got an exciting, action-packed 8 minutes ahead of us, and apparently balance, from what I understand now, is BS.
That's right.
How can that be?
Totally.
No way.
Absolutely.
Explain.
So actually this movement that I created started from my own experiences. I started a business in search of work-life balance, and the mantra for so many women is you have to have work-life balance. And so I created this business. It's about to hit $1 million. I'm out there moving and shaking, and I'm realizing I don't have balance. I gained all this weight. I was a grouch. I wasn't there for my kids or even for my poor husband. And what I realized is that there is no such thing as balance.
Right.
And what I think is so many times we strive so much to be perfect for everything, at everything, for everyone, all the time. We just drive ourselves crazy.
And it's I guess the irony of it all is like you achieve this financial success and you're probably unhappier than you are when you don't have the money, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, it was never even about the money. I had 5 employees and I thought I was doing everything right. I felt like I had to invest all this time and this energy into the business to finally have the work-life balance. And it almost was like this investment that soon one day I was going to receive that return. What I realized is, why am I wasting so much time? So I actually transformed my marketing company and I made the company work around me, around my lifestyle and my family priorities. And I realized it wasn't so hard. In fact, last year I made the same amount of money working half the amount of time.
Man.
So I want to just teach women all over, and men of course.
I was going to say, teach the guys
Yeah,
this too. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so how do you do it? So how do you have your business work around you? Because that sounds great, because I'd like to be doing this interview from my couch right now.
Why not?
Right? Let's go to my house.
It's easy. It's easy. Well, I think, women are actually opening businesses at twice the rate of men. And their number one reason is for flexibility. So what I say is, determine how many hours you want to work per month and how much you want to make. And from there, from creating that spreadsheet, those hours and the amount of income you want, then you create the business. And you become very clear about the kind of work you want to do, the kind of clients you want to work with, and what you're going to say no to.
Right.
Because sometimes we get so excited about opportunities and they're not always the best fit for us.
And I think it's pretty hard for a lot of people to say no.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Especially women.
Yeah.
We want to be nice to everyone.
Not in my dating experience. So talk about, regarding children with women. There's a lot of guilt when you miss,
Yes.
Soccer games and things like that. I think that's actually one aspect where it's harder on women than it is on men, I would think.
Yes.
If a dad misses a game, he's working. But when a mom misses the game, I think it's, she should be there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when a dad goes to the game, it's like, wow, what an amazing dad. He's at the game. He's made the time. And for a mom, it's just expected, as you said. And so what ends up happening is that so many of these women will show up to a soccer game perhaps a few minutes late or during halftime and just feel so guilty. And what I've learned from my own experience is that you're there, and that's all that really matters. And the foundation for what I teach women nowadays, whether they own their own business or they're trying to work in building their own career, is that we can't have that guilt. Because what are we teaching our children? What are we teaching our children if we get there and we're not savoring the game? We're so focused on what we missed and what we want to make up to them.
And, for men and women both, when you get to the game, put away your phones, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
So,
Yes.
all right, so we've outlined a lot of really, really good big picture stuff, but if you can just sort of get granular and give us like some specific things of how a mom or even a dad can specifically really hone in on creating this business model where you get to do all these things that you're talking about.
I think number one is perspective. To keep in mind that you're going to have to say no to some great opportunities, and you're going to have to say no sometimes to things that are really important in your life. Perhaps you might miss that soccer game or that ballet recital because you really need to meet with this client that represents maybe a 5-figure project for your business, and being okay with that and taking that step back and providing yourself with some perspective to say, that doesn't make me a bad mom, it doesn't make me a bad business owner or a bad wife or bad at anything because I've made this decision. And again, sitting down and determining where the priorities are. For many women, it's not about having a six-figure business, although I love to see women making having 6 or 7 figure businesses. For some of them, it's just a couple extra $1,000 working from home to have that flexibility. But what's really important is that they never ever become a slave to their business.
So let me ask you about men. Do you have any men that fall under your umbrella? Are you working with any guys too? Are guys eager to embrace this as well?
Yes, definitely. A lot of husbands love to embrace this because they feel that I can help them get into their wives' heads
Okay.
and start to understand a little bit of what happens in the psychology of a woman, especially a working wife and mom. And so again, what I can do for the men is provide them great perspective. And when I have men in the audience, I'm thrilled to hear that I've been able to give them that perspective and help them communicate a little bit better with their wives.
I think a lot of it is redefining what matters most.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
You know, because we all work hard and we're all
Yes.
chasing these things, but again, you miss soccer games, you miss theater, you miss whatever, and then you know, that's no good.
No, and what ends up happening is that then you have all this guilt. And all that guilt does is break you down. And so all of a sudden you're walking around with so much weight on your shoulders. You're not even there for your children. You're not even there for your business. You're really worthless because
Right.
you're allowing this guilt to take over your life.
So really then, by maybe working less hard or working more around your own schedule, it
Yes.
makes you a better employee or employer too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that you get to experience more joy and you start to live a more fulfilled life. I mean, I work hard, but I don't have the amount of stress, guilt, or self-doubt that I used to have. My kids, if I can't pick them up at school or if I can't make it to something, it will be okay. Nobody is going to die as a result of mommy not being there.
And as part of this big business plan, can you work in a Caribbean vacation every month? How do we make that
Absolutely.
part of the plan? Yeah. I'd like to focus on that part of the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have quarterly retreats in the Caribbean, absolutely.
Or monthly retreats.
Or
I mean,
monthly.
whatever.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
weekly.
Yeah.
Or weekly.
Daily. All right. So people want to learn from you. They want to read your books. How can they find out?
I'd love for them to go to lulybeat.com, and I actually have a place where they can click on my website and get a free excerpt for the audio series that I just launched. It's called Balance is BS. And what we do there is I teach them the 7 steps to boycotting balance and living life on their terms.
Okay. You are not BS.
No way.
You are the BEST.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So come on back, and next time we'll do it from the Bahamas.
I love it.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Good to see you, Luly.
Good to see you.
You got it.